hurt me because they're with their super chat saying having a jalapeno cheddar bagel with sun-dried tomato cream cheese. That sounds delightful. Enjoy. Akamitsu, thanks for the super chat. I'd rather be flying an X-wing. Thanks for the $5 tip. They're asking when I'm going to stop shading between flights. The timeline keeps getting smaller and smaller. From those of us who are not allowed to have facial hair, let it grow. I don't know. A thick beard is not a great thing in the summer, so we'll see what happens when winter comes around. How close are we to a full LOX tank on Ship 30 right now?
Very far away. You can see it on, like, the actual frost ring is way lower than the whole
you're
tank.
Right.
You can actually,
look at that.
you can actually see the whole tank very easily because the whole tank is the thing that is right now marked white. But there's a more whiter white.
Yeah, there's a thicker layer of frost down there.
Yeah, that's the actual LOX load. So it's probably around 1/3-ish, 40%-ish loaded.
Yeah, and this is more or less where it stays. It doesn't really go that higher up. The rest of the frost that you see is essentially from that from the tank venting every now and then. The tank gets cold. Adiabatic expansion, all of that for.
И всем привет.
But yeah, that's a whole. It's the same process. That's why when there's like a.
И всем привет, с вами снова Aerospace, и вы опять попали на мою прямую трансляцию. И сегодня мы смотрим прямую трансляцию первого прожига, корабля Starship Ship 30, который будет использоваться для пятого орбитального интегрированного испытания миссии IFT-5. Вот. Sapcex планирует сегодня, 7 мая, провести огневой тест предположительно всех 6 двигателей корабля Starship Ship 30, который будет использоваться для пятого орбитального полета примерно не ранее конца июня 2024 года. Окно для испытаний до часу ночи по IFT 8 мая, то есть у нас еще целых 4 часа. На корабле Starship Ship 30 установлено 3 атмосферных двигателя Raptor 2 с тягой 230 тонн и удельным импульсом 330 секунд. На каждом 3 вакуумных двигателя Raptor 2 с тягой 258 тонн и удельным импульсом 380 секунд на каждом. Вот. У нас уже начался engine chill, то есть охлаждение двигателей. Оно происходит, насколько я помню, за 19 минут 40 секунд перед зажиганием. Вот.
We've kind of speculated on that on previous static fires, just because with the Massey's static fire standards, it feels like, you know, any one of these could be the very last one.
Starship Ship 30 у нас уже проходил первый криотест еще с 4 января 2024 года и второй криотест 6 января 2024 года. Starship Ship 30 будет использоваться в паре с ускорителем Booster 12, получается. Да. Для, собственно, пятого орбитального интегрированного полета.
Alex, what do you think?
I think this might be the last, but we'll see. That's my take on that. It might, but we'll see.
I mean, what if Ship 26 rolls out to Massey's and fires in the new stand? Like, it's just ready to go, somehow. That would be crazy.
Alex disagrees with me, I've just lost.
What do you mean? The ready to go, the stand? Yeah, could be. I don't really know. They might just go ahead and do Ship 31 as well here from Pat B and not do anything from Massey's until they have version 2. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like even after
Look,
ship
that's-
29, ship 26 is, I mean,
Да.
could be
That's my
anything.
fear as well. Like,
Starship
once
Ship
it's
30
done,
это у нас
it's
стандартный
I'm
прототип
configured already for
второй ступени, ну, корабля-звездолета, который у нас, собственно, имеет высоту 50 метров, диаметр 9 метров. Устанавливается, как я уже говорил, 3 атмосферных, 3 вакуумных двигателя, которые Раптор 2, который работает на жидком кислороде и жидком метане. Вот, корабль сделан, как и все звездолеты из стали, примерно 3 мм толщиной. Имеет, как вы видели, 4 плавника для контролирования траектории при возвращении на Землю.
Well, the whole thing is gonna become more and more frosty. Lux load should end rather soon because it doesn't seem like the frost line goes up.
И, кстати, как они сказали, это один из последних прожигов на подби в целом на суборбитальной площадке, потому что уже готов стенд для прожигов, которые будет, прожиги дальше в дальнейшем будут проводиться на испытательной площадке миссии. И, кстати, как они сказали, да. Ну а пока мы ждем, я так понимаю, прожиг у нас будет ровно в 4 вечера по местному времени, то есть в 21:00 по UTC. Собственно, вот у нас двигательный отсек, там находится 6 двигателей, вот у нас внизу у нас находится бак для жидкого метана, вверху бак для жидкого кислорода. Ой, не, наоборот, да, внизу для жидкого кислорода, вверху для метана. Вот, для жидкого кислорода, для метана и, собственно, сам грузовой отсек.
Tinkering, but thermal cameras are hard, and thermal lenses that can actually see a
Ну,
distance.
да. А еще, кроме этого прожига, мы, конечно же, продолжаем ждать следующий интегрированный полет. Это будет 4-й, в котором будет использоваться первая ступень бустер 11, да? И корабль Ship 29, с ними уже проведены все испытания, все криотесты, все прожиги. И сейчас просто, их там что-то доделывают, и их осталось только лишь отправить на, собственно, стартовую площадку, вот тут собрать, сделать full stack, короче, на орбитальной стартовой площадке, провести VDR-тест и все. То есть на это нужно, неделя-две буквально. Илон Маск вообще говорил, то, что у нас полет будет в начале мая, но начало мая уже подходит к концу. И что-то вообще ничего. Ну, не знаю, я думаю, до конца мая вполне могут запустить на самом деле, реально. Потому что на стартовой площадке абсолютно нет никаких повреждений. Ну, пока давайте посмотрим, не знаю, что у нас по запускам дальше. Завтра у нас в 14:42 по IFT будет запуск ракеты Falcon 9 с миссией Starship Group 652, это я постримлю. Потом 9 мая в 2:48 по IFT будет запуск ракеты Falcon 9 с миссией Starship Group 8.2, это я не буду стримить, скорее всего. Затем запуск Старлайнера перенесли аж на 4 дня, в итоге у них вроде упало давление в баках второй ступени, блин, аж на 4 дня. SpaceX бы справились с этим, буквально за 5-10 минут, реально. Запуск Старлайнера перенесли у нас аж на сейчас. Аж на субботу, 11 апреля в 00:55 по UTC. Но это я буду стримить обязательно, конечно же. Поскольку запуск будет в субботу, я могу стримить его, полностью, короче, спокойно.
to change its trajectory
Вот, да.
forward, which is tricky with orbital mechanics. But I assume you mean raising their perigee. No, they're going to do an engine burn to lower their perigee.
Что еще потом в понедельник? Это у нас будет какое? 13 мая. В 00:11 по UTC будет запуск Falcon 9 с миссией Стейн Групп 658. Это я стримить не буду. Затем 22 мая будет запуск ракеты Electron Curie с миссией Ready Aim Prefire, но еще неизвестно когда. Затем 30 мая. 30 мая это у нас что? Это у нас, блин, четверг. В 10:55 по UTC будет запуск ракет Союз-2-1А с кораблем грузовым Прогресс МС-27 на МКС. Это, к сожалению, не смогу постримить. Ну и дальше у нас все уже идет не ранее, чем. Давай, уже скоро должен быть совсем прожиг по логике.
Very active vehicle and tank farm. Always just so nice to see.
And also the orbital tank farm providing like some additional ambience, right?
Right.
Because the orbital tank farm is still going.
Nice, someone just got an L2 subscription.
That's a very good purchase. That was my first contact with NSF. I
Same.
got into L2. It's just a cool place to read up.
Yeah, I DM'd Chris B. I like taking pictures of planes and rockets. Can I take pictures of planes and rockets for NSF?
And here you are, taking pictures of planes and rockets for NSF.
Who knew?
Crazy.
Andrew's asking, if reentry isn't solved, do you think there's a point where they'll do some expendable launches to start making money? I mean, I think expendable Starship, just like expendable Falcon, is on the table. It's just not the primary use case or the primary reason they're developing this. Like, if they have to do it, I think they would, but I don't know. What are your... Adrian, it sounded like you had thoughts.
I mean, if they have to launch payloads expandable, why wouldn't they just use... Like, the payloads that fully use Starship right now just don't exist yet. Like, that's not... We are not there yet in the contract circle where there's, like, 15 giant payloads by NASA standing by for Starship to launch. So why wouldn't they just use Falcon?
Yeah, I mean, if it's just not something Falcon can lift.
Yeah. But I think most of the payloads that right now would be booked would be a Falcon payload. So I think they would just focus on getting this fully reusable and then start launching.
Так, мои предположения про то, что прожиг будет ровно в 4 вечера по местному, оказались неверными.
Interesting question.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Его до сих пор еще нет, но мы ждем. У меня уже наступил следующий день. У меня уже 8 апреля 00:02. У меня UTC плюс 3.
let's say,
Here's another interesting question. Julian is asking, do we know...
А, блин, Starbase Live вообще написали то, что Engine Chill начался в 47 минут. То есть, получается, прожиг может быть еще аж через 5 минут.
Venting?
Ну ладно, ладно, ждем.
Interesting.
That's
Может, в
very
0,5 минут.
interesting.
Could they be about to fire again and to tease us once again? Or
Я уже думал, то, что все пипец стриму.
what we're looking at right now, this is interesting. I don't want to say it's a depress, but this is a sustained vent.
Yeah, and every single vent, at least on the liquid oxygen tank, every single vent is going off. And also,
Блин, они говорят, то, что походу у нас депресс или чё, то есть риф топлива, то есть
I
все,
don't like this.
пипец
that
приехали,
much.
все сломалось. Прожига не
We'll wait and see
будет,
what happens.
не знаю.
We'll see what happens. It's certainly interesting. But remember, we had that one test where we thought, oh, this is not good, that's ending.
at least on the liquid oxygen tank, every single vent is going off. And also,
Блин, они говорят, то, что походу... Куда? Куда? Сволочь, ты чё делаешь? Так, Капец, что с Ютубом в последнее время творится? Он ломается тупо на ровном месте. Трэш.
We will see. We will book it as interest.
Ужас.
So, we will see.
Are we seeing any venting from the head tanks, by the way?
I've not seen anything from the
Ну,
tank.
пока ждем, потому что не факт еще.
Like the increasing pitch.
Потому что сейчас ничего не будет. Ну, прекратился вот.
Interesting.
How long was this?
Yeah. That was like a minute.
I'm trying to compare that to.
No, it was
test I
actually
saw.
2 minutes and 10 seconds.
It was about 3 to 4 minutes on Ship 29's single engine test.
So the good news is, so far, for example, the flash stack is not going. Which means they are not into any detanking operation here or anything. So that's good. Like I think the vehicle is maybe just in a stable configuration right now, and we will see what happens.
Now. There's
Well,
always
maybe-
a chance they just throw something new into the mix.
Can we maybe move to the other one where we can see the water better? But also the engine chill seems to have gone off. Let's wait here at least for a couple of minutes to see if there's a test or something. It
Yeah,
will not line up with anything that we've seen before, though.
It'd be
Yeah,
really
this is
interesting.
New. This is new.
Let's keep our eyes open for that water that might start and indicate. We haven't heard Mary reporting anything about a siren yet, but the siren doesn't always happen. So
Yeah.
we get all comfortable and think we know exactly the steps and processes that we're going to see, and then they change things up on us, and that's the most fun part because then we learn new things.
Somebody in chat saying it's a valve. It's always a valve.
Oh, poor Starliner. It wasn't Starliner's fault. It was the Centaur. It was the Centaur.
It's not. Stalin did nothing wrong.
Did we answer the question as to why Starship stacks fly with a 90-degree roll? Or did we get distracted
no.
by venting?
We are like very sort of tense band babies that just look around if there's a loud noise. I'm like,
Well, we
"Huh?"
could be close to a static fire, so it's understandable. I'll put this back in the queue and we'll answer it when we can.
Yeah.
Right now it's kind of like game time, right?
Yeah, certainly.
Flame time. Am I right?
Yeah, flame totally. We have totally in flame time. Nothing else could happen here. Another note is that the engine chill here has stopped.
Engine
Or
chill
like
is
most
stopped.
have stopped. Yep, you can see the pipes. It's not longer like that's not an engine chill. That
Right.
pipe is just fizzling out a bit because it's still cold.
That's just a cold pipe, yeah.
Yeah, that's what has me worried, because for all of these single engine static fire tests that we have seen previously, that engine chill has continued pretty much to the point of the test.
Yeah, it's. I would feel at least relatively confident calling this some sort of a hold. However, they could possibly resume. But I feel like we are certainly like this looks holdish to me.
Yeah.
So we will see how this develops. I mean, they still have 4 more hours in this window.
Yeah, the window does go until 8 p.m., so no worries there. There's plenty of time in today to get some testing done. I mean, they've already done so much today, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm still just floored with how cool Ship 30 looks with the new
Yeah.
stringers in the LOX tank. I'm so all about it, and it makes me excited to think about version 2. and how cool that's gonna look.
Yep, I
Although-
agree. I love the stringers.
Although version 3, please no version 3. Please let it be different than the renders.
No, it's perfect the way it is. It's perfect the way it is.
Oh, is that the?
I'm seeing it as well. Can we go to the event stack, Kevin? Like Mars big? Okay, maybe not Mars. Maybe I picked the wrong camera here.
That's what you wanted. He gave you what you wanted.
He's not even like pretending to give me the right one. He's just throwing me under the bus. It's the vent stack.
Highway, yeah.
Yeah, it's high.
Or road. This is road.
Love this, Kevin.
So
yeah,
you
the
were
vent stack is going.
you were
which is
talking
not
about
good.
this a little while ago, Alex, and you said the vent stack wasn't going, and now it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the record, because I want to say something like this already happened with 29, and it was also not resulting in a test. Ship 29, when it first rolled out to the launch site, it essentially was before Flight 3. Its first test was going to be a spin prime test. That was essentially the Friday before Flight 3. And it just did not go through that. It aborted about 6 minutes from what we were predicting to be the test time. This test, I mean, it should, if it were actually going to be today, it will be a lot more active in terms of the ship. The engine chills, it will still be going. Yeah, it's not looking positive. Let's put it that way.
Well, like we were talking about, there's 4 hours left in the closure,
Yep.
so plenty of time, and we've seen them extend closures before. So it's possible. And Andrew and Dan, who are here, who need to do some work out at our sites, and can't when the road is closed, just in unison moaned, "No." It startled me. I was like, "Is there a ghost behind me?" No. Wow.
It's just the tech people being very annoyed.
I mean, I can't blame them.
No, I can't either. Oh boy. Now we are... The...
I shouldn't have said it's flame time. I messed up.
Yeah, so it's. I think we can pinpoint it to that single issue.
I blew it.
It's yeah. Everything
no,
was
let's not
running
blow
well.
up things. No.
It's we were so close to greatness.
We were, you know. But
Yeah,
you know
this
what?
close.
Maybe we're just at the part of the we are so back graph where we're not so.
Короче, у нас был какой-то странный вентинг, после чего все остановилось. Это и не особо похоже на депресс-вентинг, то есть на полный срыв топлива, но это был срыв топлива, скорее всего, но не полный. Так что вообще непонятно, что сейчас происходит.
Somebody named Ryan Weber. Why? All the MSFers are super chatting today. Thank you, Ryan, for the super chat. Say it wouldn't be the same without you, Jack. I forgot what we were talking about. Thank you, Ryan. Tell me in the back channel what you're talking about.
Так что да, ждем дальше.
Matters now.
For the support, they say I debate Moonlander hoaxers. Do you think moon landings will be more successful with human pilots than the current endeavors? And where can I brush up on current technology? Good job. I mean, NSF is a great place to learn more about Starship, which is crazy to say, but it is basically the current technology for Moonlander, even though we haven't seen a Moonlander ship yet. Do we think
Yep.
moon landings will be more successful with human pilots? I mean, Dragon's largely automated. I do hope the HLS ship has some sort of, I don't know, manual override. So that the crew could take control if need be, like Neil Armstrong style.
Yeah, I mean, it always gives you like another layer of what can intervene in a potential problem, right? It's just a possibility. So we'll see. But
Curtis
yeah,
is
for
asking-
now,
Go ahead. Whoa, whip pan.
Whoa.
The rare whip pan. Curtis is asking about Starliner. While we're waiting to see what happens with Starship, they're asking if it's scheduled for Friday. Should they rebook their flight? It's tricky. That's a tricky question. I'm sorry that you're dealing with rocket-related travel woes. It's never fun.
Yeah, I think the honest answer is we don't know. Like,
right.
and probably ULA doesn't know.
Yeah, it's, if you can fly an airline that lets you change your tickets very easily, that's usually the way to go.
Yep. So that's just the situation. I mean, it's they're looking at it. They will try to probably fix it. Look at what they have to replace potentially on Centaur, and then we will see. And then they will confirm a new launch date, and then, yeah.
Let's check in on the roadblock as we get a feel for what's going on. There are some cars at the roadblock. I love that they have the trailer these days.
Yeah, the hardware trailer. The emergency everything we need hardware trailer.
I mean, hey, if I had an emergency everything we need hardware trailer, I would use it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people at NSF that would love an emergency all we need hardware trailer.
We got to come up with a backronym for it. So, road's still closed. Vent stack is active. It looked like we might have gotten an abort, or at least a hold on the ship, and we're waiting to see what happens next.
Yep, we are standing by. Again, there's potential always that these things, like at some point they could just kick the tank farm into gear again and refuel what was lost, and then we will see what happens. There's always changes to this. There's always new things to explore. It's a fluid situation, so it is worth it to stick around until the road opens. And as long as the road is not open, the test ain't over.
That's how it goes. Flavio is asking, remember when landing a rocket is very difficult? It will never be commercially viable was a thing? Yes, I vividly remember that.
Yeah.
That was a cool shot. Go back. The orbital tank farm?
Go back.
Whole bunch of venting still from the orbital tank farm.
Yeah, I feel like that's also the point when people are saying, like, why did they focus on ship 30 instead of focusing on the next flight? Well, they are kind of also focusing on the next flight.
Yeah, they're doing multiple things with this closure, right?
Yeah, they're basically testing the stage 0 for the 4th flight test, as they are also doing this. So it's not like they cannot do one or the other. They can do one and the other.
Let's see. TerraSpace is asking, is SpaceX still planning to launch a Starship prototype with 6 Raptor vacuums? Also, will they put 6 RVACs on Starship V2? Well, right now Starship has 6 engines. Eventually, I guess they'll add 3 more vacuum engines for a total of 6 vacuum, 3 sea level.
Yep, that's the V3.
Yeah,
so
that's version
V2 still has the same number of engines, but V3 is where they get additional engines.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some technicalities about this because we technically don't know which engines we 2 will use, because correct me if I'm wrong here, Alex, but Raptor 2 doesn't have enough thrust. So it needs to be at least a Raptor 2.5 for V2 to work. There's some we have a whole
Or a
video
very
about this.
downscale version of Raptor 3 at the very least.
Yeah, like there's some wonkiness in the thrust numbers for V2 and V3, where V2 could not work with Raptor 2 because Raptor 2 has not enough thrust for V2, and V3 wouldn't work with Raptor 3 because Raptor 3 doesn't have enough thrust for Raptor 3. So in theory, they would need a Raptor 4 version of Starship. So there's probably some wonkiness in that numbers. It's an interesting thing.
I really can't wait until we see version 2 hardware in the flesh rather than just like development hardware. And of course, eventually version 3. Although, again, I don't love the way the renders look. It's too stretched. It's too stretched.
It's too stretched, yeah. Imagine a Starship with like a 12-meter diameter for that one.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the best. The 9-meter version just looks cursed at that point. Yeah, I mean at ITS they really were at something with ITS. They had it there.
The number of people that are into Starship that are like, to this day, ITS, like Revenger, like we should just go back to ITS. It's so much better at 12 meters. Like, yeah, ITS was pretty great.
I mean, from a design perspective, I love ITS. ITS is amazing.
Right.
It's so cool.
What's the whale version?
Yeah, the whale version. I love it. What's your favorite, like, that's a funny debate while we wait here for something to happen. And I'm also throwing this to chat. What's your favorite Starship variant? Like, what's your, in the step from ITS, BFR, Starship, MCT, whatever. Like, what's your favorite version? What's your peak?
That's tough.
That's some nice
Yeah, right.
painting from the orbital tank farm.
It really does give a nice backdrop to what's going on Pad B. Adrian, I think
But it's also the one that you can hear right now.
I think my favorite is kind of what they're doing now. I mean, that's almost like why I'm worried about version 3, is because what we have now looks so cool to me. I don't really want it to change too much.
Pretty thin BFR for me. Like
what about it? Like what made you like it that
three
much?
thin. I don't know. The 3 thins make it so aggressive.
Alex, there's a conspicuous silence. I don't hear. I hear no opinions from Alex.
С Ютубом реально что-то ненормально последнее время происходит. Что в Хроме, что в Яндексе. При том, что я на каких других сайтах я такого не замечал.
Your favorite Falcon 9? Is it Block 5? Is it
Definitely.
Whatever, the V1.0?
No, see, you're saying it like it's a ridiculous question. It's a completely good, like, that's a good question.
Yes. I have opinions about this. It's,
yeah, me too.
It's Falcon 9. For me, it's version 1.2.
Really? 1.2 with the white interstage?
Yes, I love it.
See, when they made the switch from that to Block 5 in the black interstage, for a while I was like, this looks wrong. I don't really love it. And then, a couple months went by and it was completely, I would look at the all white Falcon 9 and be like, okay, now that looks wrong. So, I don't know. I mean, you do you, but
yeah, the full thrust version. I mean, by the way.
And what about
first...
V1.1 with the RCS thrusters were at the top of the interstage? That was cursed.
И у нас опять начались тестирования GC, то есть вот этого всех этих бочек с топливом. Ground Support Equipment это называется. Вот, блин, представляете, я даже помню, как это называется. Хотя я эту расшифровку почти не рассчитал, может, года 3 назад.
The tic-tac-toe engine arrangement. I mean, Octoweb is obviously better, but the tic-tac-toe, there's just something.
Да, мы продолжаем ждать, очень долго ждать. Очень долго мы уже ждем.
We took Alex making something to sound like a stupid question and then really took it really seriously. That makes me happy.
Alex was like, "What's your favorite Falcon 9?" And Jack and I were like, "Yeah, we have opinion about
Well,
this."
actually,
What's your favorite shuttle?
Atlantis,
No, but you need
Atlantis.
to give a reason why.
because it did a whole
because
bunch of classified spooky stuff, and because its name is Atlantis, and because I saw it launch in person up close from the causeway, as like a little baby kid.
Because I like Stargate Atlantis, and I'm a very simple person.
You are a very simple person that is
It's
my
like-
friend.
It's like, yeah, I mean, you know me, man. It's like, that's all the connection I need. It's like, I like Sirius. I like Shuttle.
What's your favorite shuttle, Alex?
Endeavor.
Why?
Well, there's a few things that I like about Endeavor. It was the youngest of them all. It is also the first one that went to Hubble to repair it. Because Discovery launched it, but Discovery was really bad and launched it. It was not good. It was not good. It was not a good Hubble. And then Endeavor went up and repaired it. And then also it was also on the STS-88 mission, launching the first module of the US side of the ISS, launching Unity with the Sardia module. And so that was the first ISS mission of the shuttle. So yeah, Endeavor. Also, we have a Crew Dragon Endeavor. None
What's
of
your
the other orbiters have a Crew Dragon that has the same name.
The
What's your favorite
Venstack
Crew
has
Dragon,
stopped
Alex?
again.
Oh, it stopped.
Alex, the Venstack has stopped again. I'm just
sometimes
pointing this out.
It stops and comes back again. It's just a matter of waiting to see what happens next.
It's an interesting situation right now.
Interesting indeed. It's not over till it's over. And like 3.5 hours left in the window. The vent stack is good and all, but I still miss the flare stack.
I love the flare stack. I miss it so much. I wish we had it back. But it was
Same.
taken from us by a giant explosion. And after that, the vent stack was like 15 degrees tilted for a good few months.
Right?
Remember that time when there was like this vent stack just constantly tilted?
Good times.
That was good. So let's see, how is this? I'm just staring at the recondenser now. I just want the recondenser to fully spool up again. I want the tank farm to go. So we're back in flow, but it's oddly silent right now.
I'm telling you, we're on the graph. We're just not so back yet.
Yeah, we are like it's so over, but no, so back yet is next. If somebody doesn't know that graph meme, right? It's so weird what we are doing. It's honestly insane sometimes what we are talking about. There we can see the QD still being a bit frosty. And we'll see how this develops. But of course the pipes are still cold, so that's why it's frosty. It doesn't mean that they are loading right now. It could just mean that there's still some frostness in that.
Some frostness, huh?
Yep.
P.
Adrian.
Mako Mac, thank you for the support. Amber, thank you for the support. They say hi, Jack. Echo Deal, thank you for the super chat. They should paint a big shark grin on Starship. That would be sick, like Super Mario. Make it a giant bullet ship. Do it on ship 26 and it's acceptable. Sven, thank you for the support. They say greetings from Germany and thanks for your great work. Nice.
Hey, greetings back.
How do you say their last name, Adrian?
Let me see here. Did you already click it away?
No, it's right there. It's like Sven Flohr. Floor?
It's not displaying for me.
Alright.
See.
Hang on, I'll put it in the back channel.
Yeah, no problem. But I'll. And before it's not a German name, and I
There
will
it
not be
goes.
able to help you. Floor. I would say floor.
Nice.
On a floor. Yeah. The
Thank
H is
you.
odd for me, but well.
Billy, thank you for the support. They say, would you look at that? Just look at it. Reference acknowledged.
I no.
Oh, it's a really hilarious YouTube video.
Ah. There you go.
I'll send you a link. Timothy Wall, thanks for becoming a PadRat member. Coco Cats gifting a Red Team membership. Tom V also gifting a Red Team membership, and Tom Dalton, thank you for the super chat. They say good practice toward getting multiple ships ready at one time. Yeah, I mean, action at the orbital pad and the suborbital pad and getting ship 26 ready to do something, presumably at Massey's, while finishing 29 and just everything else that they're doing. It's insane.
We can see frost starting to decrease on the ship now. You can see some defrosting going on.
Yep.
And stack also
Yes.
going again.
Yep. There's certainly at this moment in time there is certainly some detanking going on. We'll see how this develops, but as of now, they are for sure at least partially detanking the vehicle.
That's the way it goes. But once again, plenty of time left in the window today.
Yep. And with plenty, in 3.5 hours.
Yeah, and even if we wrap commentary at some point, Starbase Live will not stop. And once we see anything happening, of course, we would go back live. But no plans to wrap just yet because we're still waiting to figure out what's going on here. Obviously, ship detanking, but is this the end? Question mark.
We'll see.
John's
And
asking. Go ahead.
And even if this is the end for today, like, well, we'll talk if we are getting to that. There's still more closures to come this week. We have 2 more backup days coming tomorrow and Thursday.
Not bad.
It will be fine if it were tomorrow, because we also have a Starlink launch.
Or is that fun in air quotes, or do you actually mean that would be fun?
For scheduling reasons, fun in air quotes, yes.
I already have an idea how to solve this.
Hey, at least it's not, hopefully, Friday, because then we'd be conflicting with maybe Starliner.
I mean, they had to go very deep into the window for it to be conflicting with Starliner.
True, that's true.
I thought
Like
you were going to
stop now.
say it will conflict with Twist.
No, of course, all you can
Do
think
you
about
mean
is
this? Do you mean This Week in Spaceflight, the best show in the world to catch up with space news?
And NSF Live, which is also on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern.
You started this, Jack.
We're just plugging things now?
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
say the
it's
time for
flat.
Twist, but, depending on the week, we vary a little bit. Kind of depends on how fast the edit goes.
That's at least you're appearing in the back channel saying hola. "10 a.m. plus minus 5 hours."
More plus than minus.
There we go. Nice. We at least got a Merlin static fire here.
Thanks, McGregor Live.
Thank you, McGregor.
John's asking, why did SpaceX not test more higher altitude hops with Starship? I mean, it was kind of all in to move to the full stack, right?
Yeah, they probably figured that whatever they could have tested with high altitude tests, they just arrived at the point where the next logical step for them would be to move to these full stack tests. It's just it's just a matter of what do you think you'll learn at this point with this test, and what's the next test that brings you the best result for what you want to verify. And they arrived at that decision.
Elite's official is asking, do we think they'll attempt to ship propellant transfer on the ground before they do it in orbit? That would be kind of wacky. 2 ships hooked up to each other on the ground.
How do you do that?
I mean, the tanker ship has a drogue, right? And the
But
and the receiving ship
But
has
they want to use they want to use pressure difference and vacuum like low
I mean, couldn't you just
zero G
press
things, right?
Couldn't you just press one starship's tanks and depress the other starship's tanks? I mean, yeah, obviously it's more straightforward in zero G. It probably isn't possible on the ground, but let me imagine this because it would be pretty cool if they did do this. I don't think they will, but I don't even think it's possible. But it's fun to imagine.
I think there's nothing to gain from this. Well, like at minimum to gain from this versus testing it in orbit. But it's not like honestly, it's not a.
Why are we
showing
showing Ryan's info card?
Why are we showing Ryan?
Mr.
What's
Map Boy?
happening?
Mr. Map?
Why did that just happen?
I guess Kevin. I don't know. I blame Kevin. Okay. Yeah. Right. Anyways,
Crispy asking in the background. Somebody asked for directions.
How is the person most off the rails on today's stream not one of the 3 of us?
Love the fact that Ryan is wider than everybody else, so this whole card is a bit wider.
Right. It's just because he's better.
Can we make this a contest, like who has the widest picture card?
Oh God. Something tells me Max would somehow win.
Yeah, Max would like submit a giant stretched wide picture. For sure.
Let's see. Nod is asking if I found a new hat. I've ordered a couple. We'll see what happens. Thank you for caring. Bill P is asking, any activity at the roadblock? Kevin, can we look at the roadblock? Looks about the same, right?
Yeah, it's still the maintenance truck or the maintenance trailer sitting there.
What were we calling the trailer? Emergency have everything you need hardware trailer? Something like that?
Yeah, the emergency have everything you need hardware trailer. Kevin is updating us. In fact, a bunch of cars left.
Huh.
So
They wouldn't open the road anyways just now because there's still a lot. So
Yeah, the vehicle is not safed yet. It's detanking but not safed.
it's detanking, not detanked.
Correct.
You got a lot.
Good question though from Bill.
Yeah.
Green Leader is asking, real thoughts on Starliner. I personally have little faith in it. I think the similar redundancy is good.
Yes.
I think it looks like a very capable vehicle. I like a lot of things about Starliner. I'm not going to hate on it. Do I wish it hadn't taken so long? And some mistakes that were made, do I wish they were not made? Of course. But I'm glad it's finally about to come online.
Yep, that's my take as well. I will just copy this take and paste it.
Ooh, you're copying him.
Yeah. At least I'm not copying his like his phrases.
Yeah, he's not stealing my bit.
You're the one stealing
dude.
my bit.
This is ongoing.
Pugly Wuggly, thank you for gifting or becoming a red team member. And Teria also becoming a red team member. Thank you for that. Ethereal Swordsman, thank you for the super chat. They say, I've been slowly planning things. I'd like to build a pump-fed, liquid-fueled space shot. Would an NSFer be interested in coming up to the Midwest in a few years for that? I'm thinking 2 stages with 4 side boosters. That's crazy.
That's really
probably,
crazy.
I would probably want to see that. There's NSFers in the Midwest, aren't there? Like, isn't that around where Gage is? Well, we could send Patrick, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew, who has been sitting over my shoulder this entire stream, and that's not weird for me at all.
You're getting like observed while doing the stream.
Oh yeah, like it's like I'm in an aquarium this entire time. Both of them have been here.
Oh.
Короче, написали где в одном SpaceX чате, в общем-то, то, что... Короче, написали, да, в одном SpaceX чате, в общем-то, то, что будто все начался уже окончательный стриф топлива, и сегодня кино не будет. И да, действительно, я задрался уже тут сидеть, поэтому я буду заканчивать эту прямую трансляцию. И следующая попытка будет завтра, 8 мая по UTC. Да, подождите, сейчас. Следующая попытка, да, будет 8 мая по UTC. Это же окно с 13:00 UTC по час ночи UTC 9 мая. Всем спасибо за просмотр сегодня и всем пока.